Okay, let's dive right in, because we're about to talk about a change in computing that is, well, it's genuinely new. And I don't mean just another update. This is a brand new capability that's completely changing how work gets done. It's called agent mode.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Somewhere in the world, an AI is doing research for its owner while they're asleep. That difference? That's the entire game. It's the huge gap between having a tool that you have to use and having an assistant that works for you. And that, right there, is the core promise of what we're digging into today.
So what is agent mode exactly? Well, think of it like this. It's AI that works in the background. You give it a job, you walk away, you close your laptop, and it just gets to work. For a lot of us, this is probably the biggest shift in what a computer can do since the internet itself first showed up. And this is where we see a really fundamental shift. You know the model we're all used to with things like ChatGPT or Claude, right? It's basically a conversation. It's back and forth. You ask a question, it gives an answer, but you have to be there for it to happen. Agent mode, that's totally different. It's not a conversation, it's delegation. You assign a real, meaty task, and the AI goes off all by itself to bring you back a finished product. And let me tell you, the first time this actually happens, it's a real wow moment. You get back this completed report, it's full of research, it's got analysis, and you didn't personally do any of it. You just sit there for a second and realize your only input was the initial instruction. The AI did all the heavy lifting on its own. It's a pretty profound feeling, honestly.
Okay, so that might all sound a little abstract, so let's make it super concrete. I want to walk you through a real-world example of what an AI agent can actually do with a complex, really meaningful task.
Okay, so here's the scenario. A family member gets a new, kind of scary health diagnosis. The task for the agent was really clear. Research all the treatment options, figure out the most important questions to ask the specialist, and compare the top 3 approaches. You know, the kind of work that's super stressful and time-consuming. The assignment was given in the evening, and the next morning, a clean, 3-page document was just sitting there, waiting. It was basically like having a professional patient advocate's briefing, all done while you slept.
Now, think about the impact of that for a second. That kind of report that would have normally taken at least 4 hours of really stressful manual research, digging through websites, trying to figure out what's reliable, the agent did it in just 40 minutes. And it did it while the person was asleep. So look, this isn't just about saving time. It's about buying back focus and, frankly, peace of mind when you really need it.
And here's the really crucial part you got to understand. This capability is incredibly new, and it is improving at a stunning pace. I mean, a year ago, this stuff just didn't work reliably. Agents would get stuck, they'd make things up. But today, it's usable. Not perfect, for sure, but it works for real-world tasks. And in another 6 months, it's going to be dramatically better. The people who are learning this skill right now are building a habit that is going to pay off big time.
Okay, so by now you're probably seeing the potential here. The natural next question is, how do I actually start? So let's walk through it. Let's talk about how to give your very first mission to an AI agent and how to do it safely and effectively.
All right, before you dive in, there are 3 really important things to keep in mind. First, always, and I mean always, treat the output like a first draft from a smart but not infallible assistant. It's gonna make mistakes, so you absolutely have to review its work. Second, be specific. Vague tasks get you vague results. It's that simple. The quality of your instructions directly shapes the quality of the result. And third, just be aware that these complex agent tasks use more computing power than a simple chat, so you'll want to understand the cost.
But of course, the big question that pops into everyone's head is this safe? Is my data secure? And look, that is absolutely the most important question you should be asking when you're thinking about letting an AI act on your behalf.
So here's a really simple framework for thinking about safety. The key is to just start with low-risk stuff, things like research, browsing the web, or writing drafts. That's all perfectly safe. As you start to build some trust in the tool, maybe you can consider higher-risk tasks, like letting it send some emails for you. But, and this is a big but, you should never give an agent access to accounts where it can move money or change passwords. The approach is super simple. Start small and build trust over time.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because it's really important to understand the scale of this change. This is not just another app. Agent mode is a whole new category of tool. You could argue it's the biggest shift in personal computing since the internet first gave us access to all the world's information. Now the computer can actually act on that information for us. That's a huge leap.
So here's your assignment.
I'm serious. Don't just think about this, go and try it. This week, pick one research-heavy task that you've been putting off. You know the one. Maybe it's comparing insurance options or planning a complicated trip, whatever. Write down really clear instructions, give that task to an agent tool, and then go to bed. Just see what you wake up to. Look, you might be skeptical. I get it. And honestly, it might not work perfectly the very first time. But try it anyway. Because when it does work, and you see that finished piece of work waiting for you in the morning, that's when you'll really understand that the way we use our computers is starting to fundamentally change. You just might surprise yourself.